There's this popular SNL episode where Pete and Timothy are mocking modern music culture. It's a hilarious skit. It's a parody of the effect that music has on a person's ability to communicate. And it's not wrong. In fact, music is just one of 3 inputs that is programming society to speak worse and worse. A population that is inarticulate and can't communicate properly is one that is, well, easier to control. Which is why at the end of this video, I want to share a powerful 5-minute speaking routine that will help you sound articulate, sharp, and in control every time you speak. One huge trend that I've been studying for some time now is the rise of articulate speakers. One of the recent trends among Gen Z is this desire to be well-spoken. In fact, one of Gen Z's worst anxieties is being confronted in one of those street interviews, not knowing what to say and looking inarticulate. In fact, even speaking on the phone is now considered a top anxiety activity. Clear, confident communication just isn't the norm anymore. And clear speaking itself is the result of clear thinking. And clear thinking is the result of clear inputs. Your engine can only run as well as the fuel you give it. And right now, your fuel is being poisoned by 3 toxic inputs. Number 1, music is shaping your speech more than you think. Let's do some basic math here. The average person listens to 20.7 hours of music a week, nearly 3 hours a day. Most of modern music is composed of these 55 words and phrases. That's 3 hours a day of reinforcing very easy, predictable word combinations in your mind. The way most people describe things like culture, or dating, or relationships, or wealth are heavily influenced by their playlists. This is because when you speak, your brain defaults to the words and phrasing that is most commonly engaged with. This is called your surface lexicon, the 1,500 words that you naturally reach for in conversation. When you speak, your brain retrieves a certain familiar group of words and phrases. And this surface lexicon is shaped by the most common language you consume, most of that being from music. And if you're someone who naively says that music doesn't affect you, well, let's just say that you haven't fully realized how powerful the subconscious mind is. You don't have to use the words for them to be there at the tip of your tongue, fighting to enter your sentences. The second problem, response lag, is reducing your sharpness of mind. Let me show you a fun concept I call response lag. The circle on the left here is the preparation of your thought, your thinking. The circle on the right, the presentation of your thought. This is your speaking. Our lifestyles today have provided us with so many opportunities to increase the distance between thinking and speaking. This is what I call response lag. Remote work, sitting on a text for 30 minutes until we come up with the perfect reply. We let emails sit all day before we respond with AI. We want those lightning bolt, genius, witty quips that communicate our intelligence and our brilliance. There's less pressure to produce a quick reply. And this reinforces a very dangerous pattern in your speaking, that you need lots of time in order to say something adequate. A large response lag in your communication is just not normal. Unless you were sending a letter 100 years ago, communication was in person and instant. The closer these 2 circles are together, the more satisfied you are with what you say. This is called flow state in speech, where you're thinking and you're speaking at the same time. You practice saying what comes to mind. Anxiety and overthinking happen when you give yourself too much time to think about the words. Problem number 3, the fear of conflict is keeping you mute. People today are suffering from what I've come to call the Velcro speech effect. This is the fear that anything they say might stick on someone and that will trigger a reaction that they can't control. And so people kind of interact with each other like turtles tucked in their shell. They're afraid to stick their neck out in fear that something that they say, an opinion, might spark confrontation. Younger generations especially see too many viral clips online of people getting roasted for something that's slightly off script, and this causes them to detach from sharing beliefs, from dodging direct statements, and so people just code everything in a layer of disclaimers. In kind of a bizarre twist, actually, the freest people in society are the Karens. They speak without fear of confrontation or what might Velcro onto another person, and because of that, they control conversations. What we realize is that influence comes from saying things that Velcro onto people, and you can't be afraid of that. Before we get into the routine that will enrich your speaking, I want to make you aware of our next Elite Speak cohort, and that enrollment is open. Every month we begin a 6-week program where we professionally diagnose your speaking challenges, bring in coaches and actors to role play your worst case scenarios to mold you into a confident communicator. We teach politicians, leaders, creators to ditch the cardboard confidence and learn to speak boldly. So if you're ready to break into a high level of communication and articulacy, schedule a call below. Now, let me introduce you to the 5-minute routine that will defend against the 3 challenges we discussed. So we know it needs to address poor language inputs. It needs to close the response lag and get you more at ease with sharing ideas that may not make everyone pleased. The full routine itself is just 5 minutes a day. The first 2 minutes will be you recording yourself speaking on the topic with the goal of weaving in one new articulate word or phrase. Where do you find these phrases? Well, my team and I have created lists of what we call rich articulate language based on the insane levels of content consumption that we've gone through over the last few years. Here are a few of these lists that you can download to get you started with incorporating good language into your speaking. As for topics to speak on, we've also tested different questions in prompts, and we've put together a list of what we call questions that make you sweat. Start with this list. Once you record yourself, the next 2 minutes will be listening back to your recording. I'm gonna be real with you, this is gonna be very uncomfortable. I know, I've been there. The goal is to just pay attention to what you dislike about your phrasing and find one sentence that you want to enrich. And that's the last minute, typing out that sentence into a document and then pasting it into this ChatGPT prompt to find an articulate alternative that can update that pesky phrase. This process conditions you to do 3 things: listen to yourself, refine your wording with articulate language, and respond to what is an uncomfortable question. The solution here is not to go and scrap your Spotify playlists. Rather, it's to offset cheap, vague, or vulgar language with precise, well-crafted language. I also suggest keeping a repository of any articulate word, phrase, or creative turn of ideas that you come across. Record that list and listen to that audio throughout your day. I've done this for myself. If you want my personal file of the articulate language that I've collected over the last few years, you're welcome to check that out below. Stick with this routine for 2 weeks, and you should be able to teach Pete Davidson how to put a sentence together.
That's hip hop.